What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's gonna be a bit of an unconventional one because yesterday, or last night I should say, I purchased something that I didn't really think I'd be picking up yesterday. Before I show this vehicle to you, keep in mind I got this for a very good deal. I'll go into that in a second. And this is a business investment. I really do need something to haul parts with. This came up at a good deal at a good time. I've been looking around last couple weeks, and then this just happened to pop up. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I got. All right, so you guys know the E92. I've been stacking parts in this. Got the E92 M3, I have the E36 M3, and now I have a 4Runner. So what I have behind me is my brand new 93 Toyota 4Runner. 4-wheel drive, 5-speed manual, literally the perfect spec for a 4Runner, I guess you could say. I'm super new to these things, so I don't really know much. My uncle actually used to have one of these, basically like the same spec, white with the manual 4-wheel drive, and it was also a second gen. This is also with the V6, so this has the 3-liter, not the 22RE or whatever the 4-cylinder is in the 4-cylinder model. What's funny is every time I get a vehicle, I've never really given you a proper walk around. It's funny, I'll do it on this one, but let's check it out. This is, like I said, a 1993. It has a good 260,000 miles on it, but you know, it's an old Toyota, so that didn't really bother me. It's been in the same family its whole life, and it's never left the location it was purchased. So it's pretty freaking crazy. This is kind of a diamond in the rough. I won't tell you how much I paid for it, but I will tell you ridiculously cheap. It was cheaper than my E36 M3 interior that I just purchased. I really didn't feel bad about this. And also I know if I have to, or if I needed to, I could get rid of this thing and make a good 3-4 grand on it. With all that being said, I mean, here it is. Body is as straight as can be for something 30 years old. I mean, you can see no dents. There's a little dent here. Obviously it's an old Toyota, so all of the old school chrome is in really good shape. Glass headlights, super cool. The tires actually have surprisingly good tread. The frame is clean. This thing does leak some oil, I will not lie. Got a bunch of weird stickers on it we'll have to deal with. So other than some of the weird stickers and badges, it's super clean. There's one little dent there, but other than that, the central locking works, and you wait till you see the interior. Check it out. So we got the classic cloth door cards. This is so 90s. So you can see these are super light door cards, right? There's no speakers in them, but this truck is fully optioned with automatic switches for everything, automatic locks, automatic mirrors. Coming in here, you can see the interior is pretty good. Aside from this rip, the interior is near mint. Obviously I need to vacuum it. It hasn't been vacuumed or cleaned. It really needs a cleaning, but other than that, the interior is really solid. You can see we have a good 260,000 miles on it. You can see how analog all this stuff is. Super cool. The coolant gauge, the oil pressure, the gas, and the battery voltage. Also super cool, these sliders for the heater, super cool. AC does not work, heater does work. Don't really have a problem with that because it is winter, so I'm not that pressed about it. It does have an aftermarket deck in it, which is pretty cool, so I was able to listen to music on the way back. The dash has one tiny little crack you can kind of see here. Funny enough, this is like the first time I was actually kind of bummed something was manual, because I have 2 manual vehicles and I kind of wanted something to drive to work and to, you know, just to drive around that wasn't a manual. But I gotta say, this manual is pretty fun, and this thing's kind of a dog, so the manual actually makes it a lot more fun. Your 4-wheel drive, this works great. I already gave this a shot, and aside from that, that's pretty much it. You got the switch for the window back there, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that in a second. Like I said, the interior is just mint condition. It is so good in here. There's no funky smells, there's no weird stains anywhere. It's just a good interior. I gotta add, this thing is super plush too. The 90s cars really knew how to make a really comfortable vehicle. It's like super comfortable in here. Only thing I wish is that the seat went back a little farther because my knees definitely hit the steering wheel. Not a big deal, but I got a gangster leaned back behind the B pillar. I'm gonna show you guys how these seats go down because I think it's the coolest part of the interior. You see the rear seats are mint as well. There's like literally nothing wrong with them. All right, to get these out, you just pull these headrests up. I'm trying to do it with one hand. Pull these up, set them down here. Then you come back here, there's a little tab for the seat. And you pull it up out of the way. Then there's a little handle here. You pull that up and you can drop the seat like that. And now you have all of this room. And just like that, with both seats down, you have an extremely large amount of cargo space for the rear. You know, in a truck, you have a truck bed, but that's always exposed to the elements. This is literally a complete truck bed that's insulated. So another cool thing about this is you can put the key in the tailgate, and you can twist the key and drop the window. Extremely cool. Like a little lock here, pull that up, and you can now drop the tailgate, and you have way too much cargo space. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to vacuum this thing up and give it a little bit of a detail on the interior, and then we're gonna go take it for a drive because I do want to get a few things for it, and we'll go into that in a bit. All right, so I just got off the phone with Geico. This truck is only $18 a month to insure. Of course, it's liability, but 18 bucks a month is crazy cheap. Real quick, I put a little clip in here, hold this panel because that was missing. I'm gonna go and hopefully replace the bulb for the dome light today. We're gonna go drop off some oil, hopefully get some oil, get some air fresheners, get some more cleaning supplies to really clean the interior. I did give it a good vacuuming, but probably order some cheapo WeatherTech mats, and then probably get a dash cover so this doesn't crack anymore. But I do want to take you guys for a drive because this thing is sweet. This is the first cold start in this thing. I really don't know what to expect because I've not yet done it. Key in. What's cool about this thing is apparently you do clutchless start. I think. Right here. Like that. Purrs like a fucking kitten, man. Alright, so we're gonna give this thing a test drive. Basically my first time driving it. That's not in the pouring, pissing rain, so we'll really get a baseline here. No music too. I normally drive all the time with music, so it kind of disguises and masks any weird noises and stuff. But one thing I did notice is check out these fucking cup holders. These are legit. I'm sure they don't hold anything too well, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're gonna give this thing a rip. Yeah, reverse does grind a little bit, getting it into reverse, so don't think that I'm not pushing the clutch in all the way. Let's see. Wait. Did not grind. It didn't grind that time. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm trying to get used to the gas pedal. The gas pedal is very weird in this because you press it down and then you press it down again, and then that's when that gas pedal is actually going. I don't really have a baseline because I've never owned a 4Runner, obviously, so it's kind of hard to give you like a super good idea of what a 4Runner is supposed to be like. But if this is what a 4Runner is supposed to be, doesn't really nice blinker guy. My bad, let me just ride the clutch. You know, people say these things are dogs, but they're not that bad. I don't think this thing's like incredibly slow. It's not quick, but it's not supposed to be quick. It's also the 3-liter V6, so this is the bigger engine out of the two. And so far, I like it. I know these are prone for head gasket failure, but I mean, I get that. There's a recall on the head gaskets, so either this one's had it done before, which I'll have to look into because I got a Carfax for it. I really haven't looked into it much. Either the head gasket's been done because of the recall, or it's never been done. But this thing does have a brand new cooling system, basically top to bottom in it, so I'm not really too nervous about it. Of course, it's high mileage, but as long as it stays cool and I'm monitoring that, that shouldn't be a huge deal. And it drives pretty good, honestly. It drives pretty smooth. I'm gonna take it through town here, so we'll get like the stop and go feel and kind of how it is to drive. It's a little floaty. It kind of, you know, skates around a little bit, but I don't feel unsafe in it. I just feel like I'm in a 4Runner. Other than that, I mean, you can see it idles great. Let's see. The clutch is interesting because I've never driven a manual vehicle that isn't a BMW, so it's kind of hard to get, not hard to get used to, it's just a different driving experience. Like this truck shifter is kind of weird to me because the throw is super long. But aside from that, like, it's pretty easy to drive. Again, the gas pedal is a weird thing, but it's all something you get used to in time, I'm sure. And you can't really stall this thing. You definitely can stall it like any other manual transmission vehicle, but there's no specific bite point. There's no point of engagement that's super specific, so it's super forgiving. And you could kind of limp it around without stalling it, to be honest. So this will be great for the rest of my family to drive. So I'm stoked on that. And I wasn't looking for a manual vehicle, but it is cool to have the manual on something like this, especially on something that's slower. Having the manual is kind of cool. It makes it a little bit more fun. Plus this thing's 4-wheel drive. I know I mentioned that earlier, but hopefully we'll be able to take this thing up to the snow or something cool before I flip it or do whatever I'm going to do with it. So yeah, I mean, it's a really good cruiser. Yeah, this isn't like a vehicle that I would be opposed to purchasing if it was automatic. Like it works great. It's cool, like manual's cool and everything, but I wouldn't be opposed to. I was actually looking for automatic. This just happened to show up as a manual with the 4-wheel drive and all that. But it's not something I would say you need to have, especially if you're actually going to wheel it. You probably have more luck with the auto anyways. And I really don't know anything about these trucks, so I don't want to like speak on what I don't know about. But I know there's a E36 over here somewhere, so that's why I'm driving through this neighborhood. Okay. There's an E36 right there. I want to go ask if it's for sale, but they're clearly BMW people, so I'm sure it's not. Yeah, that thing is sick. Alright, that pretty much wraps up the little test drive. I'll get back to you guys when we are back at the house, and I'll show you what we got for this thing. Alright, it's the next day. We're in the 4Runner, and I'll show you what I did. So, start off, I got these floor mats. You can see. Got these floor mats for $8 at the grocery store. $8. Put an air freshener in there or whatever, and I cleaned it up. I bought some Griot's interior detailer and just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It still needs to be cleaned, but if carpet is cheap enough for this thing, I might actually just recarpet the whole truck. Buy a cheap lift, cheap wheels, we'll do it all on a budget. Let me know if that's something you guys would want to see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this truck. Probably use it as trade bait and you buy something else or get something else, or maybe just sell it cash. But if people want to see a little bit of content on this thing, I might keep it for the winter and, you know, we'll thrash it around. But it's almost too nice to thrash. I had a little bit of fun yesterday, not too much, but took the lawn with me. I do need to wash this thing. I haven't actually washed it, but because the sun is finally out and the rain is gone, I can go take it to one of those washes. And I am gonna probably look for wheels and tires. I don't know. Now that I see it, I can't leave anything alone. But I do want to bring this trim back to, you know, we'll bring this back too. And I'll probably make some videos on this, reconditioning this, and we'll try and bring it back to life a little bit, but it's a really good truck. I'm now at the storage unit. It's time to pack some stuff up and get it shipped out and list some stuff and, you know, make the 4Runner purchase a little bit more justifiable. So I'll be back. So I think that will be the new work daily. Well, I can keep the miles off this and the E36. So that's great news. With all of that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't a super long one and it wasn't BMW content, but it's now 4Runner content. So hopefully I'll get a few videos on the 4Runner and before I sell it or flip it or whatever I decide to do with it. If you want to buy it, hit me up on Instagram. If you want to buy BMW parts, hit me up on Instagram. I'm always selling stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. We got some more E36 content coming up as well as some E92 stuff. So don't worry, we got plenty of content to come, especially for the year 2022. We're almost at 1K, seriously, like, I don't know, 30 away. So thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.